there is no case presently before the court. Consequently, the governor said the party had the right to conduct its campaigns contrary to the information being shared in some quarters. At a media briefing on the state, he called on the Independent National Electoral Commission, which has said that the party will not field candidates in the state, to comply with a court order which declared the primary elections conducted in the state as lawful and valid.
8 political parties, including APC, participated in the primaries, and all the names are here on this certified true copy by INEC. The names of APC people is on this list, and other parties. It's our dismay how could INEC single-handed APC and say they have not won the primaries after they have a true certified copy from them. This is the evidence that presented before the court, and up to now there is no clear court who faulted this judgment.
Finally, the national chairman of the Social Democratic Party, Olu Falai, is denying resigning as the national chairman of the party. Falai, who spoke to newsmen at his residence in Akure, said he only retired from active politics. That's Situation Report. I am Ginka.
Let anyone know that the guy is partial. The guy is stability, is partial, is selective. We will not make it. That is not what Nigerians are expecting from this electoral process.
And speak is better. You don't have to come all the way. We can all hear you from where you are sitting. Yes. So that's the purpose. Wherever you are.
Well, the voice of the coalition officer, well, the party agent rather, and also the coalition officer, Professor Ginka, back then in 2015, way back when the INEC released the result that brought in the President Muhammadu Buhari. And also the voice of Orubebe there. You remember the disruption that took place, the drama that took place at the Collation Center in Abuja. There, today, we will be looking at the role of party agents, polling agents, party polling agents at various polling units, and also the Collation Center today, as we are just 5 days before the 2019 elections. Guys, that's what we're looking at. In fact, just a couple of hours ago, the Independent National Electoral Commission warned registered parties to submit the names and appropriate details of their poll agents for the governorship election within the given time limit. This was contained in a statement by Festus Okoye, the National Commissioner and the Chairman, Information and Voter Education. Well, that decision, according to the statement, was from the INEC's meeting with the resident electoral commissioners from all the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory. That was on Friday in Abuja. But exactly now, the role of polling agents at the various polling centers during collation, before voting, and also during distribution of materials. We're looking at their roles today on the program, right here in the Situation Room, in the studios of Flow 94.9 FM. Ginka Aloha.
Yeah, Michael, when I looked at that incident that played out in 2015 when former Minister Orubebe, was shouting, Jega, you are biased, Jega, you are partial, and all that.
And it was live on television.
Yes, it was live. Everybody watched it. I remember that was the heat of the supposed pending crisis that would have engulfed the whole nation. But thank God for the wisdom of President Jonathan at the time, who made that call and calmed the fraying nerves. That goes to tell you that the functions of the party agents at the polling unit is very paramount. First of all, now I know that if INEC, on getting to the polling unit, they will first of all display the election materials, the ballot papers and all that, show it to everybody. And first of all, you have to identify the party you represent. So, in other words, they are there as the eye of the party and the candidate who is contesting. That is the first step. Then during the process of voting, they are also there to make sure that things are moving on smoothly, not minding that whoever that is voting for them or voting against them is not molested or intimidated in any way. Then after the election, they will also be there to make sure that the votes which have been, allocated to various political parties are counted properly and are allocated to the various candidates. These are the functions of party agents in polling units. Well, then again, when you get to the collation center, they are also there
to sign.
To sign. And approve that what the figures that were entered, were actually the ones, voted, or the ballot that was, given to the various candidates. So these are the issues. But don't forget that these people, any concerns they raise at that particular point in time will go a long way to make sure that it makes or mar the process. That's their major function.
Okay. Having said that, I want to talk about the conduct of these officers in the electoral process.
Exactly.
Their conduct, you see, their conduct, like you pointed out, can make or mar the entire process. Like we saw what happened to Orubebe. He could not manage his emotion at that point. And if not that, Jega at that time was in control of the situation. If Jega had reacted the other way, probably that would have fled the whole situation up, and then some other persons will come up and the whole place.
And at that point, violence may erupt in various parts of the country.
Exactly. So the conduct of the party agents at the polling units are very, very important. Most times, some of them fail to manage their emotions. And if they fail to manage their emotions, it rubs off. Like Ginka pointed out, any concern raised by a party agent is noted by international observers, because at the point of voting, they are the closest external person apart from electoral officers. They are supposed to see from the beginning to the last stage of the voting process. So whenever they spot anything that is not good, or that they, in their own judgment,
they think their party is not being favored.
They have a pattern. There is a situation. I mean, there is a pattern. There's a procedure of you reporting anything you feel it's an irregularity or something that is not proper during the process. So the way they conduct themselves, and again, let's go back to how they even emerge as party agents. The parties are expected to submit names with passport, like the concerns raised by Festus Okoye, the INEC National Commissioner, that up to a week, none of them are yet. I mean, some of the parties, especially the big parties, they are yet to submit the list, the names, and the photographs of their supposed party agents. This doesn't go well. And at the end of the day, we start experiencing a rush. And sometimes parties make a mistake of not checking the sensitivity of the people they are taking as party agents. If you bring someone who is very erratic, he can mar the process for you.
Then again, still talking about this, the party agents. I think, like you said, I think the party should, go beyond looking at who will do the job, but also look at the integrity of whoever they are nominating as their party agent. Take, for instance, like the battle now, I will suggest that the strong parties, vie for any election in Nigeria. Why I say that is because if you notice, when you get to the polling units, these people, the party agents, sometimes they even sell out.
They sell out.
Once you offer them any money, they will just accept it and abandon the main reason why they came to that polling unit. And this is why I think it's only strong parties who have the wherewithal to contest for any election should vie for positions in this country. Because if they can be swayed with money, that goes to show the whole process has been mad.
Exactly. Ginka, we had Richard Okoro. He is the coordinator of Transition Monitoring Group in Abia State. We had him here. He was telling us of his experience in the past elections that he has monitored. That in a situation, he saw some things, some funny things going on. And to his own surprise, he saw party agents of other parties collaborating, collecting some monies, and then agreeing on the spot to falsify things in favor of a certain political party so they can be sold out, they can be swayed by monetary things and other valuable.
Maybe if you promise them an appointment after they can also abandon whatever thing they have for you.
At the moment they begin to notice that these results generally from other places not going their way, they see themselves like, oh, I must make gains of the situation now. They can be easily swayed, and these are the things that parties need to check. I mean, go beyond the surface level to get men of integrity as your agents. They are your last goalkeepers.
Guys, in a situation where party agents are being used to, conduct some fraudulent activities at the polling centers. For example, when a party agent is distributing money to eligible voters right on the queue just to, persuade them. We understand that 24 hours before the election proper, all campaigns must have been stopped. But in a situation at the polling center, a party agent is canvassing for vote at that spot.
And that is where the issue of vote buying, they are the ones that also perpetrate this issue of vote buying. They will come, I don't know if you're, maybe you follow that of Osun State and Ekiti State. We saw pictures of some party agents who came to the polling unit with cash, money. Some were arrested, and some, ordered the electorates or the voters to come to a particular place. Once you've done your ballot, you come, show a kind of evidence that you actually voted for the party, and then the party agents will now be giving money to all these the voters. These are the issues. We are not supposed to be talking about party agents trying to mar the process which the electoral body has put in place. I think they should collaborate, the effort of the electoral body to make sure that we have a credible election this year.
And that is why it is important that this list, the names are submitted to INEC on time so that they can be trained. Because look at it this way: they are like the party's last person, like the last goalkeeper or the gatekeeper or the liaison of the parties in the entire electoral process. You may have done your campaigns, you may have done your nominations and do everything to get votes, but at that point, it's like this is the final moment. You go and then supervise the process and ensure that whatever is due to us gets to us at the end of the day, and you go there and compromise. That is why it is timely. It is good that the list is given to INEC. The parties do the needful, submit the photographs and all the details, the requirements, so that they can be trained.
Yes, the issue of training is very important, because I was going to suggest that maybe after all these things, the electoral body, which is the INEC, should call a kind of meeting with all the party agents, not just the party, not party as a whole, just the agent, to talk to them on the need to behave very well, especially in the polling unit, because whatever thing they say, whatever thing they do, will rub off on the process of the election.
All right, it is still the Situation Room right here, where you get the latest as it concerns the forthcoming election right here in Nigeria. It is Flow 94.9 FM, and we have just 5 days, 19 hours, and 7 minutes before the 2019 general elections. And what we're looking at today is the conduct of various political parties' agents right at the polling center and also at the collation center. Just so you know that the polling stations will be open for accreditation and voting from 8 a.m. That's on Saturday to 2 p.m. However, voters on the queue before the close of the poll at that 2 p.m. will be accredited and allowed to vote. Well, and also at the polling unit, you join the queue, an INEC official will check if you are at the correct polling unit and confirm that the PVC presented belongs to you. Okay? From your observation from previous elections in this country, we want to know your opinion. What do you think about the conduct of the polling agents right at the polling units? I understand that this may not be the first time you're voting. This may not be the first time you're witnessing the electoral process in Nigeria. What is your opinion? What do you think about the conduct of the polling agents, the parties that polling agents at the various polling units right here in Nigeria? It is still the Situation Room on Flow 94.9 FM. Just 5 days before that decision moment. 0808 182 6949. You can also call 0811 605 2949. Don't forget the SMS line 0906 510 8289. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
This is Mr. Lampard. I'm calling from Government College.
All right, you're welcome.
Okay, what you are talking about, I don't think the party agent will become this time around. You can imagine when you are that collecting, you realize to welcome now. You also to do the same thing. But I really don't know. But what I saw the last time they did the normal election, the people who have the money, in the situation. So this time around, let's see and watch. I wish all that will become and they say they are various parties. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for your contribution. Let's move on. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, the three political wise men.
Good afternoon to you. Happy Sunday.
I wish you the best today. My name is Malinga. I come from Itovom.
You're welcome.
You see, with the polling agent at the polling stations, I think they also help to reduce the bad votes. When you see your party member like PDP, someone move to that party member and ask the person to help or her to vote, particularly the right so they don't cross the right line or whatever. I think we should instruct the party agent to help people so that they won't have invalid results and otherwise. Those issues that I think we should concentrate on it. Thank you all today. And God bless you.
All right, thank you very much. God bless you too. Hello, good afternoon to you. Okay, 0808 182 6949 0811 605 2949. Don't forget the SMS line 0906 510 8289. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Hello.
Please move away from your radio set.
Can you hear me now?
I can still hear the feedback from your radio set.
Can you hear me now?
It's better. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is David. Yeah, I'm calling from Omaya.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I like your program because last election in Nigeria was marked. All the party they need to shine their eye very well because anything that happens, they'll be the people they will because they are high of the.
All right. When you call, try as much as possible to move away from your radio set or you turn down the volume on your radio set. Thank you very much so that we can have a better signal. Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Michael.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Sampson and Ginka.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
I remember how is your Sunday today?
Wonderful, fantastic. Thank you very much.
I remember Mr. Pointing Oswabo from Monaco. Issue of the election and the observers as well as the hello.
We are with you, please.
Yeah, it's one of the functions of parties, but in Nigeria, it ought to be refined very well. Like what happened during Rubebe and Ginka? If Ginka hadn't been somebody that had his temper, something would have happened there. So let parties, it's a very big lesson to parties. If they are selecting all their agents, they should select well-meaning and human beings instead of putting mad people in the booth. Then for an electoral body like INEC, they should make sense. They should sensitize people on the kind of people they need in the electoral as electoral agents. So they shouldn't bring in, people with questionable character and bad manners. So that's all I put there. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much for your contribution. Hello. Good afternoon to you.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
Yeah, this is Radio Senator calling from Government College.
All right. You're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I think the report you people have given there was correct. That has been the existence of party agents since I have worked as an electoral officer in different capacities. That has been the activities of electoral agents. But I think the INEC is taking the right steps at the right time. So there are things they must do more. Collaborate with the security agencies who will hang around to monitor those who will come and buy votes, who will come and give money to the electorate in order to vote. I think they should do that. Make sure that they place security agencies different strategies so that this will no longer take place. But what they are doing is the right way. I think they are modernizing their system, and there is hope at the end of the tunnel. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much for your contribution. Hello, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to you. All right, still the Situation Room right here on the floor of God's own state, just 5 days before the 2019 elections. And we're looking at the role of polling polling agents right here in the Situation Room. 0808 182 6949 0811 605 2949. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, this is Mr. Chimokraf. I'm calling from Umunochia in United States.
You're welcome.
Yes, I want to thank INEC for the measure they are taking. I think for the first time in the history of election in Nigeria, what we used to have here is by now, some party would have written down names. They are winners and are celebrating even before the election. But it's no longer the issue now. Everybody is now campaigning, knowing fully well that the era of rigging and intimidation is over. So INEC is doing a very wonderful job. So, and we, the Abians and Nigerians, we are happy that at least at the end of the day, our vote is going to count this time around, and not when we vote, like in 2015 here in Abia, then some people just say go to court, PDP or the way. At least there's nothing like PDP or the way now. So everybody is now working. And then we are going to vote out bad government, a government that doesn't pay salary, and a government that has been enslaving Abians.
All right, thank you very much for your contribution. Okay, guys, thank you very much. That's the Situation Room for today. It is just 5 days. We're getting to that moment. We will be back tomorrow, the same time, 12:30 p.m. Ginka.
Yeah, I think it's a good one today. And we urge all our listeners to join us tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. for another interesting package.
All right. The advice for party agents, Sampson, is it?
Well, Michael, it's very expedient that we play our part. If you have anything to do with the electoral process, make sure you do your best, and just imagine that you are the last goalkeeper, you are the last gatekeeper, you are the last liaison officer of your political party in the polling unit, and then you decide to probably trade the trust bestowed on you for any other valuable, for any other gain. Right there, you may have defeated the essence of democracy. Conduct yourself properly. That's just the advice.
All right. Well, we're urging you to get your PVC. The collection is still ongoing. INEC is actually doing well to make sure you get your PVC. Reason for the extension from Friday, which was the initial deadline, till Monday between 9 p.m. and 6 p.m. It is ongoing at the various collection centers. Thank you very much. That's the Situation Room. As we head straight to the polls, do not forget, vote not violence. That is the message we are preaching. My name is Michael Oni. Do have a fantastic Sunday.
84,084